CTV News tonight, the cold snap we've been warned about has well and truly hit. Welcome to CTV News, I'm Emily Cooper. Well, that southerly finally hit Christchurch today, with experts saying it's not only more severe than last month's snowfall, but is the worst the country has seen in over 40 years. Snow has fallen in Dunedin, Southland, Nelson, Wellington, Auckland and many other North and South Island areas. Here's a bit of an update for everyone with what's going on around the city. Power has been out to around 500 customers in some areas of Christchurch. Areas affected includes parts of Leeston and Taitapu and small areas in Sumner, Akaroa, Lincoln, Prebleton and West Melton. The latest from Christchurch Airport is that a number of domestic flights were disrupted because of the snow at the airport this morning. Chief Operations Officer Andy Lester says while a number of flights have managed to get in and depart, some passengers' travel was disrupted. The airport is open but says it's essential passengers check with their airlines before beginning their travel, as they will be the ones to determine whether conditions allow them to fly. Some international flights have managed to get away during breaks in the weather. One inbound international flight by Singapore Airlines had to be diverted to Auckland. It soon returned to Christchurch. It's also been reported that a number of flights were hit by lightning as the bad weather hit most of the country. Earlier this morning, the main runway was covered up to by about 8 millimetres of snow, but airport staff have managed to now clear them completely of snow and slush. Overall, the airport says at this stage, today's snow has not been as disruptive for the airport as last month's snow. But more snow is forecast, which could mean further disruptions. Christchurch Airport has been preparing for this weather since last week, when it was first informed of the likelihood of snowfall. This has included bringing in additional equipment and resources. Metro bus services have also been suspended all day. The Christchurch City Council says all council sports and recreation centres, libraries and other community facilities are closed today, and they'll assess whether they should reopen tomorrow depending on the weather conditions. Also, you can leave your bins out for collection. Contractors will progressively collect each area as soon as conditions allow them for them to do so safely. If your bin's not been collected within the week, you can call the council on 941 8999, that's 941 8999, or call the 0800 number 0800 800 169. Sarah's also announced access to the CBD red zone continues to be closed to all contractors due to the snow and ice. Access to the CBD red zone will be reassessed tomorrow morning at 6:30. Weather conditions have also closed the Burwood Resource Recovery Park and the Kate Valley landfill. Now, for regular updates on civil defence and snow across the region, you can visit www.cdemcanterbury.govt.nz. There's also a Facebook link you can visit. Now, many local roads will not be cleared for some time. The council's warning motorists to stay off the roads and only to travel if it's essential. Crews are working to keep major roads as clear as possible and are starting to spread grit at intersections and roundabouts across the city. Now, here's the latest on roads from the Christchurch Police. Once again, police are warning drivers of the extremely dangerous road conditions. Inspector Al Stewart of the Christchurch Police says people are using their common sense and say that people have learned their lesson from last month's snow.
No, look, we've been very fortunate. People are taking a common sense approach to their driving this morning. We've had 6 minor crashes, no injuries.
And as last time, the snow will turn to ice in the coming days, which is potentially more dangerous than snow.
Heavy snow, we'll be looking at ice as the days go on. We're advising all motorists to assess their local road conditions, and if they don't feel it's safe to drive, then please don't be driving on the roads. I think one thing to be aware of, whereas we're dealing with powder snow at the moment, over the next couple of days we'll be dealing with ice. That's only going to make the conditions worse. If you are going to drive, please increase your following distances, slow down and get to where you have to go to safely.
And once again, there are a number of road closures around Canterbury.
State highways are closed most areas. Locally, we're closing most of the hill suburbs, again just for general safety of motorists. We're encouraging all essential and emergency services to come in if it's safe for them to do so.
Welcome back. Christchurch Polytech, Lincoln and Canterbury universities are closed today, along with most Canterbury schools. But children and university students have found other ways to fill in their time.
If it's not a classroom these kids can be in today, an igloo seemed a worthy substitute. Mitchell and Matthew Denton have been slaving away on their new snow home all morning and have high vision for it.
It's the new thing in Canterbury. Snowmen are no more. It's igloos you build.
Did you do this in the last snow day as well, I suppose?
Yeah. Our last one was a bit smaller than this though, so we thought we might supersize it.
So how long do you reckon it's going to take you to finish building it? It's a bit of a work in progress?
Yeah, well, hopefully this isn't all the snow. Yet another day off school and more snow to keep on building this.
Meanwhile, out on the street, their neighbours turned the snow into surf. It looks like a bit of fun having someone to push you along. Oh! And took the chance to throw a few snowballs at Mum. What's it like to have a good day off school like this? Are you hoping snow's coming tomorrow? Huh? Are you hoping there'll be snow again tomorrow?
Yeah.
The kids weren't the only ones out riding the snow. Others were pleased they could finally hit the slopes and at a far cheaper rate. So it must be pretty good having the whole family out here having fun in the street.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We didn't think we'd get it twice in, in the same amount of time, in a month or so. But yeah, it's cool. Now that the sun's shining.
Good chance to get out on the street and have some fun now the sun's out anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And it's powder, and it'll be fun for today. Don't know what it'll be like tomorrow, but...
And you're heading down to the beach, I hear you say as well.
Beach, the sand dunes, definitely.
And for those kids who got a bit cold in the middle of their creations, there's always Dad to finish off the job. You're building the snowman yourself, or are you helping out someone else?
No, it's for my kids. They're too cold, so they're inside.
Yeah, gave up after a while.
Yeah, too cold.
Here's a long list now of the schools that are closed in Canterbury. Unlimited Painga Tawhiti, Vision College, Burnside High School, Cashmere High School, Rolleston School, Rudolph Steiner School, Oxford Area School, Allenvale School, Southbrook School, St Albans Catholic School, St Anne's School, Selwyn House and Preschool, Brenston Intermediate, Amberley School, Templeton School, St Luke's Centre, Sumner School, St Albans Catholic Primary School, Christchurch Boys High School, Christ the King School, Oakland School, Kaipoi North School, Hillview Christian School, Hornby High School, Hornby Primary School, Darfield High School, Addington Primary School, Clarkville Primary School, Springston Primary School, Riccarton High School, Redwood School, Avonhead School, Medbury School, St Margaret's College, Merrin School, Mount Pleasant School, Rangiora High School, Tuahiwi School, Annabelle Educare New Brighton and Avonhead, Hammersley Park School, St Bernadette's, Beckenham School, St Michael's School, Riccarton Primary School, Middleton Grange, Queen's Park School, Parkview Primary School, Burwood School, Poon Hay School, Southbridge School in Leaston, Poolswell Primary School, Phillipstown School, Banks Avenue School, Islesworth School, Belfast School, Mary Ann College, Adept Secretarial and Training, Avonfield Christian School, Shirley Intermediate School and Shirley Primary School, Christchurch South Intermediate, Gilbert Thorpe School in Hay, Lowburn School in Rangiora, Ashgrove School, West Ayrton School, Littleton West School, North New Brighton School, Sockburn School, Cobham Intermediate, Harewood School, Windsor School, Leaston Primary School, Cathedral College, Hillmorton High School, Rangiora Borough School, Papanui High School, Russley School, Island Primary, Dallington Oscar, Cheviot Area School, Hagley Community College, Spraydon Primary, St Albans Primary, Kirkwood Intermediate, Ellesmere College, Sacred Heart High School, West Melton School, Opawa Primary School, St Joseph's Papanui, Christchurch East School, Governors Bay School, St Bede's College, all Kids First kindergartens in the area, Little Oaks Preschool in Amberley, and of course University of Canterbury, Lincoln University, University of Otago Christchurch, Aoraki Polytech Christchurch, CPIT, Southern Institute of Technology campus in Hornby, And after that long list, local fire services say the snow and wind is causing issues with residential areas.
On a day like today, even the experts find it difficult, having to shovel aside this dump of snow, which proved a challenge for this heavy fire truck, used to dealing with hotter circumstances. The New Brighton Fire Service weren't attending crashes this morning, but emptying snow from inside people's roofs.
Most of our call-outs this morning, Gracie, have been to accumulation of snow getting driven up to people's roof spaces, and so we're getting probably about good 2 to 3 cubic metres of snow up in people's rafter areas. Our guys are getting in there clearing that out. Otherwise, the downside of that is if we're going to leave it up there, by the time it thaws, it's going to bring the whole ceilings down.
A task they weren't very familiar with from the last snowfall, with winds making things more difficult.
Our feeling is, given the gusty nature of the front that came through last night, it's driven this dry powder snow up through the gaps in the tiles, and they've had probably the last 7 or 8 hours of this snow accumulating in their roof spaces.
Coming up after the break, your local weather to let you know what the latest is on this Antarctic snap. Welcome back. Very few businesses have chosen to open today, but our news crews found there were a few things that were open. The City Council has told everyone to stay at home if it's not necessary to travel. Therefore, you'll struggle to find a shop open. But we found one Sydenham dairy open. This man's dairy was destroyed in the quake. Now he runs it from the same site out of a portacom. He says he's open so that locals can still get their essential items, which they have been doing.
A lot of people coming for milk and bread today, and the odd pack of cigarettes and things. But yeah, that's about it. People come in for maybe eggs and biscuits and things like that, or pies and things, hot pies. There's not many people out there. The streets are closed and things. Most of them, yeah.
He says although not many people have visited and he's low on stock, he thinks it's important to stay open.
Staying indoors wasn't the most appealing option for some, well in their own homes at least, with a few brave Sumner residents still willing to venture outside for the sake of getting a hot drink.
Yeah, it's been a pretty quiet start to the day, a few coffees and a few soups, but apart from that, everyone's staying at home and keeping warm, I think.
So cafe isn't the best option to come out even though it's a bit warmer in here?
No, you can come out and have a look at the snow, but apart from that, there's not much really to see out this way.
Have you been making more hot chocolates today than usual?
Yeah, hot drinks in general have been a bit busier, a lot of hot chocolates, a lot of flat whites, who want to sort of keep warm in this sort of weather. I hope a few people come out and keep us entertained, but apart from that, I don't think it's going to be much of a day.
Customers braved the cold to get their coffee fix and explore the second dump of snow in 3 weeks, and for most, the novelty hadn't worn off.
So was coming down to a cafe a bit of a more appealing option for you guys than staying indoors today?
Oh, we were meant to be at work anyway, outdoors.
Okay, so work's cancelled today?
It was. We were going to have a go, but yeah, it's too crap to work, basically.
Yeah. So you come down to a cafe instead and hadn't had a coffee?
Yeah, I had a coffee and make a plan for the rest of the week.
But further out of town, we came across a lolly shop with an open sign, but found a sugar fix wasn't in such high demand.
So you're pretty dedicated to be open on a day like this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Always need lollies.
Have you had many customers today?
Oh, very few, but police and road workers and people servicing, looking after the place, but no real lolly shop customers.
You're expecting someone to come in later when the gales stop?
No, no, it's a miserable day, and I think it'll probably be a short day for us.
Now to the big part of the news. Here's Sasha now to find out how long this weather will stay with us for.
Well, it's deja vu, and once again we're covered with that white fluffy stuff. Temperatures were very low in Canterbury today, between 0 and 3 degrees, the result of a bitterly cold southeasterly airflow hurling at us an assault of snow, sleet and very strong winds. And will we be housebound again tomorrow? Most likely, yes. In Kaikoura, temperatures go down to 0 overnight, so be careful of slippery roads and paths in the morning. Strong southerlies continue, accompanied by more snow and sleet. 4 degrees is your high. -3 tonight in Hanmer Springs. Check out that high there for you tomorrow though at 0 degrees. Strong gusty southerlies throughout the day, with snow continuing to fall both morning and afternoon. Temperatures barely above freezing in lowland North Canterbury tomorrow. Snow and sleet continue all day, accompanied by strong, bitterly cold southerlies. In Christchurch, strong winds continue, nearing gale force on the hills and the peninsula. Snow continues to blanket the city both morning and afternoon, so you'll get another chance at a snowman. 4 degrees is your high. Ashburton down to freezing overnight, making for an icy start. Please do be very careful. It's another white day with continuing snow and sleet, accompanied by more gusty southerlies and a high of 4 degrees. Same story for Timaru, a high of 4 tomorrow, so wrap up warm if you're heading out for a walk in the snow. Bitterly strong southerlies continue with more sleet and snow throughout the day. To our other areas, snow both morning and afternoon for Colverdon, Darfield, Methven and Akaroa, with highs of just 3 or 4 degrees. Again, it's down to freezing or just below overnight, so watch out for ice tomorrow. Arthurs Pass and Greymouth see a cloudy day with highs of 3 and 7 there. So the question everyone wants to know is, how long will this go on for? Cold temperatures remain on Wednesday and Thursday, so the snow's not going anywhere in a hurry. Sleet showers and the odd snowfall close to sea level on both days, with a bit of hail chucked in for good measure. More frequent snow showers are expected above 200 metres. Stay safe and warm. Now here's Tony from Blue Skies Weather with more information on this system.
Tony, can you just start by telling me what we're seeing from this weather pattern now?
Well, at the moment we're seeing a very cold south to southeasterly airflow blowing onto the South Island and pushing a lot of shower cloud into Canterbury, with quite frequent hail and snow pellets and sleet coming into Christchurch City at low levels, and of course quite a lot of snow at higher levels too. Sometimes that snow's coming down to near sea level, and we're getting further snow showers coming through. Probably expect to see a bit more of that overnight. Winds are still very strong. Temperatures today have hovered around sort of 2 to 3 degrees, and winds have been not far off gale force at times, particularly around Banks Peninsula, although they have eased off a little bit this afternoon.
And what can we expect over the next few days?
Well, we're going to see pretty much a continuation of this weather pattern through tomorrow and into Wednesday and Thursday as well. So we'd expect some more heavy showers to come through overnight. Again, possibility of some snow in Christchurch City down to very low levels. That'll probably ease up a little bit tomorrow morning to sleet. Might see some further hail or snow pellets come through. And then maybe another period of heavier snow or sleet tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, there'll still be a few showers around, but the snow will be a little higher up on the hills and just sleety around the city. Still very cold on both of those days and a brisk southerly wind, but it should start to ease on Thursday, and we might finally see some sunshine coming through on Friday.
Tell me why this winter is different to other years.
It is a little bit colder and probably a little bit longer lasting than some of the other southerly storms that we've seen. And we had more snow just 3 weeks ago in July, didn't we? But that really only lasted for a day or two at the most, and then it was gone and it was back to warmer temperatures again, whereas this is a weather system that's going to hang around pretty much the whole week. So we're talking about 4 or 5 days of winds from the south, persistent showers and snow. So I guess it's the length of time that this storm is lasting is one of the reasons that it's somewhat different to what we've seen, what we see most winters, and also the fact that the air is very, very cold, and to have temperatures just hovering barely above freezing point for a couple of days is pretty unusual for Canterbury.
And experts are saying this is the worst weather we've seen in around 40 years. What do you think about that?
Well, I've been forecasting the weather for 25 years, and this would be probably the coldest parcel of air that I've seen come up from the Antarctic and over Canterbury in that time. We've probably seen similar air affect the far south of the South Island from time to time, but to actually make it over Canterbury and into Marlborough and into the North Island, this would be the coldest. I think probably it is the coldest since probably at least the 1970s, if not prior to that. So certainly people would be need to have long memories if they could remember a snowstorm as cold as this one.
That's CTV News for tonight. Keep warm, everyone. I'm Emily Cooper.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.